Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Thornberry, Ranking Member Smith, and members of the committee. I sincerely appreciate you giving us the opportunity to return and provide input during the committee's Member Day hearing for the fiscal year 2019 National Defense Authorization Act. I have the distinct honor of representing a congressional district that's home to two vital military installations for our nation and national security interests around the world. That's Fort Polk and Barksdale Air Force Base, and even our smaller National Guard facilities such as Camp Minden. As I'm sure you know, Fort Polk is home to the Army Joint Readiness Training Center, and Barksdale is home to the Air Force Global Strike Command. And as is evident with the recent provocations of Syria, North Korea, and Iran, and Russia, and others, we live in a highly uncertain and incredibly complex time, which further highlights the importance of these two bases in our military readiness to be fully prepared to combat any threat from overseas. In keeping with today's time constraints, I just wanted to focus primarily on two areas that I think are essential in needing attention by the committee and our Congress. One is modernizing our U.S. nuclear enterprise, and two is ensuring U.S. Army capabilities are fully equipped for necessary training exercises. As I begin, I like to respectfully thank this committee for working closely with me last year while crafting the 2018 NDAA to begin the process of re-engineering and modernizing the B-52 bombers at Barksdale Air Force Base. This much-needed makeover will extend the life of the B-52s into the 2050s, which is amazing to even think about, and improve range and fuel efficiency and lower maintenance costs. And I'll also like to relay my thanks for the continued support of Fort Polk from this committee and in recognizing their vital importance to accomplishing its missions and military readiness. First, the nuclear enterprise. Today, I just briefly wanted to speak to the nuclear weapons as they continue to play an integral role in the strategies of Russia, North Korea, Pakistan, India, and China. In fact, according to many reports, as you all know, and as evidence from recent aggressive actions, these countries are increasing their reliance on and modernizing their capabilities, whether it be on land, air, or sea-based nuclear forces. If this Congress is going to be serious about rebuilding our nuclear infrastructure, it must continue to express support for the long-term commitment of Barksdale Air Force Base and for the majority of the nuclear triad. I applaud the decision by the U.S. Air Force to include the new gate at I-20 and Interstate 220 interchanges into Barksdale Air Force Base on its unfunded priority list. This project has to be completed in sequence to pave the way for construction of the weapons storage area, which is currently scheduled to begin construction in fiscal year 2020. The new weapons storage area is absolutely vital to our nuclear enterprise, as it will support the overall activities of Global Strike Command overseas and its necessary involvement in a wide array of strategic deterrence. As members of this committee, you are well aware of how critical the Bomber Command, 8th Air Force in charge of our aging Fleet and Missile Command, and the 20th Air Force in charge of the U.S. intercontinental ballistic missiles are to deterrence and global strategy. Second is ground capabilities. In any event that maintaining a capable and robust nuclear option does not suffice as a deterrent from war, it's imperative that we have a capable and ready ground force. And as this committee and the Congress have presented a path forward to rebuilding our force structure, the need for modernizing our ground capabilities is certainly prevalent to ensure full mission readiness. As a proud member who represents one of the two training centers, the unit training centers in the United States, Fort Polk Army Base and the Joint Readiness Training Center in our district are crucial to highlight how the Army has continued to solidify its footprint with the state-of-the-art Joint Readiness Training Center, the JRTC. As Fort Polk's JRTC provides invaluable training for advise and assist roles and provides soldiers with the training and flexibility necessary to carry out the demands placed on them to achieve victory. It also partners with our close allies in collaborative joint exercises to prepare for the unique situations and challenges a unit may face while deployed. As we work to regrow our ground forces, and since Fort Polk remains a vital security asset, we should invest in the JRTC infrastructure to replace the existing Joint Operations Center, the JOC. As the current JOC was constructed in 1976, just 4 years after my birth, it's in need of serious modernization. And as it is unable to offer sensitive training scenarios above the secret level due to its outdated infrastructure. Authorizing a new JOC at Fort Polk would allow the JRTC to replicate scenarios that are sensitive in nature but offer invaluable training to fully prepare for any challenges ahead, as it's the only combat training center in the nation that also trains and deploys combat units. Preparing to close here, I just want to say the defense communities that surround both Barksdale Air Force Base and Fort Polk JRTC have a long, proven track record of fully supporting these two vital military installations, and they stand ready to modernize our armed forces to meet our nation's mission capabilities and necessary resources. Congressman Abrahams visited these bases with me, and he's done it himself many times, and he can attest to the same. And just recently at Fort Polk, the Army completed its largest land purchase of over 47,000 acres in an effort to provide even more robust training facilities and capabilities for the brigade combat team rotations. And that action was fully supported by the local community, enthusiastically so. Furthermore, the state of Louisiana and our local community are finalizing an investment of $90 million to construct that I-20 interchange into the Barksdale Air Force Base, and that will open up the access to the installation's eastern reservation and relieving traffic congestion, paving the way for that weapons storage facility. Just last week, I was in Baton Rouge visiting my old colleagues at the Louisiana Legislature and went to the hearing of the Joint Budget Committee, and just wanted to thank all my colleagues for their unanimous support for this vital project. Finally, I just want to thank this committee again for considering all these important priorities for our congressional district, as you do all these around the country. And I look forward to doing everything I can to support the committee's work to provide our military with the essential resources it needs. It's a top priority for all of us, and it should be. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate your leadership and truly the time that you all take to consider all these things, the opportunity to show my continued support for our men and women in uniform, and I yield back. Thank you.